top-of-the-line barbecue, and you may think of Texas or Memphis or maybe even the Carolinas, but probably not Brooklyn. Chef Billy Durney is out to change that.
Billy's done a lot of things in his life, but for barbecue, he was schooled by some of the best pitmasters around. And his Brooklyn restaurant, Hometown BBQ, does meat the right way: slow, smoky, and mouth-watering. Chef Billy Durney, good morning and welcome to The Dish.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me today. I'm honored to be here.
This is a heaping helping of barbecue we got here.
All for me. I just want to take that.
It sure is. And now knowing that you're from Texas, I'm like even more inspired to be here today. It's a lot of my Texas brothers and sisters will be watching this, and I'm very happy that I'm talking
proud
about.
Of you.
I think they are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah.
So tell us what you got.
So we have what you'll be very acquainted with is we have slow smoked beef brisket. We have whole untrimmed spare ribs. My take on the beef rib, which is the New York style of it, which is pastrami beef ribs. We have some mac and cheese with a Texas style queso on top.
It's so good.
Thank you so much. Coleslaw. We got some beans that have burnt ends of the brisket in them, and of course we need some dessert. So we're gonna top you off with some banana pudding this morning.
Of course, we also need a drink.
Yes.
Yeah. So this drink, I was just in Montreal, and a friend of mine named Ryan Gray, who owns this great restaurant called Nora Gray in Montreal, made me his take on a Negroni, and it had this beautiful gin, Suze, and Coqui Americano, which is an aperitif and a bitters, and it just is this really light, bright, refreshing summer style Negroni. So
perfect for Labor Day weekend. Yeah,
perfect for Labor Day weekend, exactly. So this is my new muse with the family this weekend. Will be white Negronis and lots of barbecue.
We all want to be a part of that.
Anytime.
So your past life, you were a very high-end bodyguard. I mean, you've been in this building as a bodyguard.
I have.
Before.
I've been in this building in many times in a different capacity.
I mean, I want to say I would never try to get past you. But what made you walk away from that?
Well, this is Body by Barbecue now. we're gonna work on that. My wife wants me to work on that, and I will be working on that. So yeah, I had much less tattoos, and I was in much better shape probably 6 or 7 years ago when I started this barbecue thing, and it was really traveling that got me inspired into barbecue, and I traveled around the world, obviously, as you know, with my protectees, and
you said you felt like you were living somebody else's life.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I have such fond relationships still to this day with the people that I looked after, and they were some of the greatest people I'll ever know. But I felt like I was living someone else's life, and although you're in 5-star hotels in Paris and you're traveling on private planes, it's not for you, and you're away from your family. So my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, one day I had been doing this as a hobby. And I said, listen, I'd really like to give this a shot. And she said, go for it.
But is it true the first brisket, Chef,
oh, the worst. She spit it out. It was the worst. It was the worst. I had no idea what I was doing, you know.
I think it's so interesting, too, that yours is not regional. I feel like most people, especially a lot of the chefs we've had, it's like you're in Texas, it's Texas. You have Vietnamese, Korean. I mean, your menu's really interesting.
Yeah, well, after doing all that traveling and spending every single dollar I had in my life, I came back and I knew very, very clearly that I didn't want to make anyone else's barbecue.
Right.
I definitely wanted to pay homage to Texas, and that's what the brisket and the beef rib in my restaurant's about. But it was very important to me to cook. I'm a street kid from Brooklyn, so I really wanted to get down with the flavors and sights and sounds of New York, like lamb belly, Vietnamese lamb belly, or Chinese sticky ribs. All those dishes were Jamaican baby back ribs, which is my favorite dish right now at the restaurant, which inspired me from where I grew up around Flatbush with a West Indian Caribbean culture over there. So for me, I just wanted to pay homage to those smells and those sights and those sounds from growing up being a kid in Brooklyn.
Before we get your signature on this dish, we should mention you're going to be at the Nashville. We're talking about festivals. You're doing Nashville soon. 5,000 people you're cooking for?
I am, 5,000 people. You know, that's about the number we cook for at the restaurant, but, but it's a lot different when you're in someone else's town. You know, Nashville Food and Wine is, I was invited last year by Pat Martin. We cooked on 6 different wood cooking apparatuses. We had Andrew Zimmern and all these great cooks cooking hang duck ducks, hanging ducks with us and stuff like that. And, the guys at Vector Management and C3 and Kings of Leon, that's amazing rock and roll band, put on this event. And it's just really, it's smaller than the other events. It's much more quaint. And
the date again is?
The date is September 17th and 18th. I hope everybody comes out and checks us out. We're doing the pastrami beef rib with Jewish rye toast, mustard, and some pickles. So this is the dish we'll be doing at the festival. So please come out and check us out in Nashville. It's become an adopted home to me, and I spend a lot of time now eating fried chicken there because we're about to do a fried chicken restaurant as well.
Oh, so come back and let us sample that.
I would love to cook for you.
As we hand you this dish, your signature honor, we want to ask you the hardest question, which is if you could have this meal with any person, past or present, who would that person be?
That's actually pretty easy for me. I grew up a jazz drummer at a very young age.
Wow.
And I'd have Sinatra and Miles Davis at my table.
Great table. Boy, I love that table.
Chef Billy Durney, thank you so much. And for more on Billy and the dish, please head to our website at cbsthismorning.com.
So happy to be here.